Good morning, everyone. This is Trader Rob, and today I am going to be introducing my small account challenge using Bob Anderson's Gold Line trading bot, which I debuted last week. Traded it for 3 days, had some mixed results. I will get you guys up to speed as to some of the updates within the system, the performance of the system last week, and then I'll give you guys some details about my cash account small challenge. With that, let's get to the intro. All right, everyone. As I mentioned in all my videos, nothing that I say is financial advice. I am here to learn just like how you guys are watching this on YouTube, and I want to help grow the trading community. I want to hopefully get more traders profitable and hopefully narrow the learning curve, which I guess for most of us we kind of have to go through, and with that, it's kind of a rite of passage in this trading business. At least that's what that's what all the videos are saying, and in my own personal journey, that's kind of what I've experienced as well. So let's talk about the system and how it's been performing. Like I mentioned before the intro, it's been a mixed bag, and that is definitely what that's my biggest conclusion is the settings that come in through the system. So you purchase or you rent the bot, which right now you cannot. So he's put a pause on all new licensings that's coming out on this bot. So I think he's still working on, he's got some technical support and customer service situations that he's trying to get through, which I think is great. It's he's addressed those with the community. He's addressed those that have purchased this bot, and with that, so there's some templates that come in with the strategy, and he's got templates for all of the major indexes minus the S&P, which I'm not sure why it's not out there yet. My assumption is that it's been a hard symbol to, or a hard market to trade the S&P, which is why you see a lot of the big YouTubers, they have expanded into the NASDAQ. A lot of them now are looking at oil. So they're looking at different markets as well, because, you need volatility. You need I don't want to say some bigger moves, but you need moves that have some thrust and that can get you to a certain point, where the S&P obviously has just been super choppy and super difficult to trade. So that might be a reason why it's not, and maybe the system just hasn't been optimized. It is backtesting. One thing that I'm going to tell you is that I tried to backtest the system over the weekend, because currently we're live. This is my cash account now, on all three of these symbols. So I've got the Russell, which is the M2K, which is the micro version of the Russell. I've got the MCL, which is the oil contract, but the micro version of it. And I've got the MNQ, which is the NASDAQ, but again, the micro version of it. So these are right now currently active, and they are currently going to be traded with my cash account that I funded. I funded a sub Ninja account with $2,000, and I'm going to give the system a month to kind of see how it goes. If I see it's a complete train wreck, I might have to cut it short, just because I don't want to lose the full $2,000. But I'm committed that $2,000 to this program. I think that you could trade this on the sim. You could trade this on a prop firm account like Top Step, which is what I use and which is what I traded with this system last week. Or you can obviously trade with cash. I personally feel that when you're putting your cash on the line, You are getting true representation of what the market is doing. You're going to see what kind of slippage you're going to see, the real emotions that come with trading. So even on a bot that's taking these trades for you, it's your money. So your money's out there, and I believe that is the most real back testing that you can, or even forward testing that you can do. And I wish more YouTubers would do it. That's what kind of makes me very skeptical of this whole trading thing on YouTube. So I want to be pretty transparent with you guys. From the beginning, I told you I will let you know if I am on Sim, if I am on a trading account, eval, funded account, or my cash account. And today, all three of these are on cash. Okay. So I want to just make sure that that's put out there. So getting back to the system and the settings. Originally, when we downloaded the system, there was obviously some default settings that were in there, and I believe actually on the first day of trading, I might have just traded with the default settings, which going back at it, I think it was maybe a very, very small loss, very insignificant. I was only trading a micro account, a micro contract, just to kind of see what the system would do. And then we were sent over some templates that had an optimized strategy for each indice that you were trading. So the Russell, oil, the NQ, the YM, and gold. So those were the strategies that we were that we were sent. I loaded into the system, and I traded that day. I traded that day with what I had thought was the correct settings. And in fact, that was weird because that was the day that I was profitable with the system. I had a kind of a fluke trade with the ES that I just switched over. I'm sure you guys can, you'll see one of my, I think it was the second video that I posted on the system. So I had a positive day on that day. That was on my eval Top Step account. Third day was not so good at all. I had, I think, one loser. I had 3 break evens, and then after the video had been edited and released to YouTube, it still took a few extra trades, and I think I lost all those trades. So I think my eval got hit that day pretty good, maybe $400 or $500. Then that night we get another email with some updates that, hey, some of you might have received incorrect settings on your templates. So I manually went in from his website and entered in the templates. And that is actually what I am trading on right now. Again, Friday was a strange day because after I put in all those settings, I actually didn't get any trades. So I didn't have any opportunities. I didn't see any opportunities in the system. And, you can actually see at the end of the day, if you load the strategy on whatever instrument you're on, you're going to see how the strategy performed that day because it gives you a little box on any trades. And I didn't see any. So I am hoping that was right, that, that the settings that I entered in, again, a lot of this stuff we're kind of doing on our own, which, it's not very difficult, but at the same time, I want to make sure that we're trading the right settings, which I am 98% sure that we are right now. So that's kind of like the update where we're at. I don't have any update for some of those that have asked me when this might be released to the public. As of the video today on the 23rd, it's not available. So, but I'm sure that it's, he's got a very high demand from what he has been mentioning in his videos. There's some pretty high demand on getting this trading bot. So let's now go over some of the details for this small account challenge. Okay, so what I have done is with Ninja, as you know, Ninja Trader is my broker that I trade my futures with. I also do have a TradeStation account. So, but TradeStation, this bot is only with Ninja Trader, Ninja Trader 8. It's not what only compatible with. On TradeStation, I usually take my oil trades in the morning, so I kind of flip flop between Ninja and TradeStation on that one. But with the trading bot, it's going to be specifically and only Ninja Trader because it's the only thing that it's available on. So what I did was I opened up a sub account, cash account, apart from my account where I take all of my NQ morning trades and some of my oil trades in the morning. Which, by the way, my NQ hit this morning for a positive $250. My oil trade this morning, I got wicked out really fast, so I took a 31 point loser in the morning session for a loss of $128 on that. So I'm hoping that I'll get another trade set up on the oil after 9 a.m. But I'm like I said, the oil doesn't concern me just because over the long term, those trades are just they're awesome. I know that they're going to be perfectly fine. So at least in the short term, as what I've back tested, unless there's a huge shift in the market for oil, I'm confident with that trade. So hopefully I get another setup there in the morning at 9, after 9 o'clock. So. With that said, so I funded the account with $2,000 just to trade this trading bot, the Gold Line trading bot by Robert Anderson. And what I did was I knew I couldn't trade a full contract. I mean, yeah, you could, but you would be risking 20 to, maybe 40 to 50% of the account on every I guess not on every trade, but on what your max risk would be per day trading the strategy. So I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. So I gotta be realistic, and I've got to go down to the micros, which I'm perfectly fine with. What I did was I set all of these to trade. So let me open up the strategy. I put these all to trade 2 micro contracts. So I am trading 2 micro contracts of the MNQ, of the MCL, and the M2K. So all of these have that. These are my settings. You can go down here and you can see that this is my cash account for those of you that know how Ninja Trader works. And then another thing that I was thinking about is for like 100% transparency, Ninja Trader at the end in the evening sends me a report on how my accounts performed. So maybe I'll just black out the account number or my address or something like that. I gotta look and see what's probably the right thing to do there. And I'll post it in the next day's video just so you guys know that I'm not bullshitting anybody. This is this is real, and I'm trying to hopefully help the next trader from either being excited to purchase this trading bot or seeing if this thing still needs work. Maybe it needs more tweaking, and we'll take it from there. So again, $2,000. We're gonna do it for 30 days, so we should probably get about 20 or 21 trading days out of it. I am not going to be selective on the days that I trade or I don't trade, because then it makes it more subjective. So it's just going to be every morning. So they all start at different times, which is part of the strategy. And when I say start, is that the strategy has each instrument has 3 different trades that it's looking for. It's looking for a 1-minute gold line, which is this yellow line that you're seeing right here. Okay, so that's the first one that it's looking to get pierced on a good size pullback. You've got a 5-minute gold line, which is this yellow dashed line that you see here. And then you've got a 5-minute red goal line, which is the red dash here. So these are 3 trade setups that it's looking for. Each one of these has individual settings for it as to when it's to start, when it's to end, and it also has a few other settings in there that you can adjust that will maybe increase more trades or decrease trades. So those are set to the settings that Robert Anderson has put out there. I have not customized. I'm not going to touch those settings because at that point, now you're taking all of this guy's work that he's put in the time for, and to be honest with you, that's what I'm putting the money. I'm putting money on the fact that he's back tested this, for a long time. He's optimized this for the right. So who am I to go into the strategy and then now just start changing all these numbers around? I think that's a losing proposition. So I'm staying with what he is recommending, the settings that he puts out. That's what you're going to see me trade. And so, like for instance, the MNQ, the first trade starts at 8:45. Okay, so this one has been live now for about 19 minutes. It's 9:04 Central Time on the 23rd. So, and this has not taken one trade yet. Okay, and obviously you can see, you have the 1 minute goal line here, but you don't have a full reset and you don't really have a big pivot. Again, if I throw out a vocabulary here that you might not understand, don't worry about it. It's, you can go to his video. Sorry, I'm going to set up here for my oil trade. Let's see here. So you'll see that you can go on his channel and you can see all of his videos. He'll show you how to trade this strategy for free on his channel, which I think is pretty awesome. And that way you can kind of understand every single thing that he has got on this, what you're looking at on the trading bot. So give me 1 second here. All right, I got my oil trade here set in. Take a look at that. If there's anything that I'm saying out here that you might not understand on this trading bot strategy, just make sure that you're looking at that. So this one, the MNQ starts at 8:45, and as you can see, no trades have started. The oil begins at 9 a.m. and no trades have started. So you've got to. There just hasn't been a lot of. There hasn't been a lot of activity on the trading bot Friday or this morning. So something with the settings that came out changed. In my opinion, changed something, at least as the frequency of trades that are being taken. Because I believe it was on Wednesday, man, I took a bunch of trades after, or it might have been Thursday, one of those 2 days after before the settings were updated. It was taking a bunch of trades that really weren't that good. I put it in. Granted, I'm perfectly fine with the system only taking a few select trades. That's actually preferable to me, but I would like to, obviously when you're doing a video like this, you'd like to see some action to show the viewers as to how the system is going to perform. And some days the market just sucks. The market just is going, sideways. You're not seeing really any pushes. And to be honest with you, the market this morning really hasn't been that great. It's been kind of whipsawy. You've had a little bit of a trend here now on the MNQ, which is great. So hopefully we can get into maybe some type of continuation trade here off of a 1 minute gold line setup, but we'll see. Each instrument has its own set start time and end time. which is optimized based on Robert Anderson's strategy. He's back tested it. He's seen, okay, if I start this trade at this time, this is the best results that I get. And to be honest with you, that's kind of what we're paying for is are those to see those type of results. Sorry, give me 1 second here. Now, one thing that I'm going to add is, so over the weekend, I said to myself, okay, we're going to start obviously this cash account challenge, and I'm going to be risking my own money on here. So I wanted to back test the system myself, and I should have just actually done a video on it, but I'll tell you why I didn't do a video on it, because, and again, I don't think that this is because of my computer, the specs on my computer, because I'm running a pretty badass freaking computer here. But the issue I was having was trying to back test this thing. It was taking forever. I mean, I'm talking about at least, it was taking me at least 15 minutes back testing one instrument like the MNQ for a 30-day period, just for it to run. And I understand the system is, I've messed around with trading bots in the past, and I have back tested them, and to be honest with you, I've never tested something that took that long. So then I'm starting to think to myself, okay, if it takes this long to backtest, like how much backtesting was really done with this thing? Because, unless you are, if you want to make just some minor changes, okay, if you want to make some minor changes to tweaking your settings, you're waiting a shitload of time to see how those changes improve or hurt your system. So that, I want to be honest with you, it kind of bothered me because it made my own back testing very difficult. The second part was the back testing results based on the settings that were from the website were not very good. Meaning what? I was getting some minus, some negative, some positive, but granted the negatives, these were just one contract of the full NQ. It was either plus or minus very little. It wasn't like you were plus $2,000-$3,000 for the 30 days. It was either negative $300-$400, $150. Some of the ones were up $150, $200 the end of the month. So then I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, this is it's just hard, because then I'm like, all right, well, how can we maybe optimize this in a way where let me take a look at my settings so I went back on the website, looked at the settings that he has posted on there, and everything was right. So the back testing through Ninja did not show very positive results. Now here's the kicker to that. So and I don't think I've talked about this a lot, or maybe I talked about it on the first day of the strategy. You've got these buttons at the top. The first things that pop up when you load the strategy, which is a long on, a short on, and a close position. Now, what this is meant to do is, if I click on this, it will no longer be looking for longs. It will only be looking for shorts. And the opposite, if I click on the short on, it is only going to be looking for longs and no shorts. Now, Dave Anderson himself on his channel, if you go look in YouTube, he talks about backtesting this strategy and how certain months, if you have one of these long ons or shorts on, if you have one of these off, it greatly affects the strategy. It greatly affects the profitability of the strategy, which I understand. If you're in an uptrend market for a considerably long amount of time, then of course, if you are only looking for longs, the system is going to be more profitable. Vice versa, if you are in a declining market, a trending declining market, and you only are looking for shorts, that's also going to help your P&L. Markets that are choppy, you would want both of them on. So he talks about in one particular video how that greatly affected his strategy. And he also mentioned that he was going to be sending us a video, I'm assuming for the people that have purchased the bot and are using it, where he talks about him sending us a video with exactly how he trades this system every single day. And I'm assuming that this is going to be explained there, like what's his methodology on using the longs and the shorts. So I just closed out of my second oil trade for the second session, and that one was a positive trade. So that was nice because I had a loser this morning on the second session, the first session. Second session just killed it. So that's awesome. Super happy about that one. So getting back to the strategy. See, I mean, this thing's quiet. It's not, hasn't taken any trades. Hasn't even given me a setup. So I'm like wondering to myself, I'm hoping that everything that's in here is right, because who wants to be looking? I mean, I'm sure on YouTube, who the hell's going to be wanting looking at the screen without this thing looking at it even setups? I mean, I get excited when I even get a setup that, throws one of those orders up there. So hopefully we do get one. I think that right around 10:30 or 11 o'clock, almost all of the strategies are activated, meaning the three EMA hits, the 3 gold lines that are on there. If you get pierced the right way, it will start looking for a trade. So that is probably your best timing to get the most action with the system. But in the past, I mean, even in the morning, I was getting some pretty good setups. So I'm hoping that continues. So getting back to these buttons up here, I think that this is going to be extremely important for me to figure out. Should I be looking at longs or should I be looking at shorts? Right now, this is set to take both trades. Okay. I figured that, that was the least discretionary way of doing this type of challenge and doing this type of trades. But again, if I can figure out a way, and I mean, behind the 3 screens that you're looking at up here, behind this, I've got probably 9 charts through NinjaTrader that that I have working in the background that show me. I use a lot of them for trend. I just look at, a few of them have my morning setups kind of like pre-done, so I'm ready to go. So I'm thinking that maybe I can get some type of confluence from maybe an indicator or something else telling me, hey, because I don't like doing things I think. I don't like I thinks anymore. That type of strategy for me personally doesn't work. I lose my ass so here we go. We've got something on oil that just popped up, and it looks like it is a short opportunity. Let me see if I can bring this up. There we go. Thank you. So we've got a 5-minute goal line trade that just set up. Now it hasn't activated yet. For this to activate, we're going to have to see a few things happen here, and we're going to have to see a piercing of this, the bottom of this candle wick right here, where you see the line, the 2 cell stop. And again, this is going to be 2 micro contracts and on a real cash account. So let's see if this thing activates or it cancels off. And to go back to what I was talking about with the system, if I can figure out a methodology that I like, where I have maybe an indicator that's giving me confluence on different time frames, which I have one set up. I think I showed you guys in the first day. I've got like a 5-minute, a 15-minute, and then a 60-minute chart that are just looking for highs and lows of the market, and it color codes it. So it's red on a declining market, and it's green on a trending upwards market. So this might knock us out of the setup here. At least that's my feeling. We'll see what happens here. And then based on that, if the higher time frames, or you're getting confluence on all 3, then you set it. But then things change during the day. I mean, you could be in a declining market in the middle, in the morning, and then I don't want to be going back and forth and switching the system on and off constantly, because to me, that becomes discretionary. You can miss trades, and eventually, if it's an auto trader, it's trading for you, and you don't necessarily have to be in front of the screen. Granted, I am, because this excites me, and I've got real money on the line here today, and I want to see what the system does. So as you can see, that the next candle, the short order, the limit order, will move up to the next candle based on Robert Anderson's strategy. This works exactly how he describes. But based on the movement right now, more than likely we will not get a trade set up here. So that that's kind of no fun, but we'll see. I don't believe that this is going to activate a trade unless we start looking
Order
at
canceled.
Yeah, see, it canceled it. So again, I kind of know when and where it's going to cancel, or when and where you're going to get a trade, just based off of me manually trading this strategy for so long. I do know, and I'm not perfect. There's something I don't know the back end of the strategy, where how everything has been coded. But it does follow his strategy pretty closely. So if you know it, you're going to figure this out as to, okay, this has touched this line too many times. There's not enough room for the amount of profit that we're looking for. And obviously closing above an EMA is going to invalidate trades. So you start to kind of figure out how the trades happen. And it helps me to know, hey, I don't think I'm going to get a trade there. And then when it cancels, I'm like, okay, I understand. I have a good understanding of his strategy, and I believe that the trading bot is doing what he intended it to do. That's important. I think that's extremely important for us all to acknowledge that this is pretty damn close representation of what his strategy is, and what he wants it to be. So I don't want to butcher me saying something, but I know I'm pretty sure that this is true. So once you once you get into a higher high scenario, the chart will start to change colors, where you're starting to, I guess, get into an uptrend. And so you can kind of see that the Russell's been in an uptrend, and the MNQ has been in an uptrend, where the oil was in a downtrend and then came up, and I'm assuming pierced here some kind of higher low scenario. Sorry, I just went way too far out. Yeah, so it did. So it started a newer high. Again, I hope I'm not butchering that part. I'll get confirmation on that that's true. I know he's talked about it, but for the life of me right now, I'm 95% sure that that's what it is. And I'm sure somebody in the comment section will either confirm what I'm saying or maybe correct me. And I'm fine with being corrected, guys. You know, I'm the same as you guys. I'm, you know, I think I'm at where you know, a lot of people that are looking at this, we've all been through this kind of the same game. We've been at this game for a long time. Hopefully most of us have been at this game. And for the newcomers to this trading world, you know, strap in and get ready for a wild ride, because, you know, I wouldn't want to have to do the first 2 years all over again, but at the same time, it is what has made me a much better trader, and I can officially say a profitable trader, which to me is like this huge burden off of my chest. You know, it's like you go 2 years and you're putting money into it. You're constantly, you know, throwing funds into there, and you get to the point where you're like, okay, how much more of this is sustainable? Like, I can't, you know, there's a learning curve in most careers, but in most careers, you know, you get that kind of apprentice, or you get the entry-level job, but you're still getting paid. You know, you're getting paid to learn, you're getting paid to train. In trading, that is 100% not the case. So, you know, you're on your own, and, you know, that's, I was happy that I found Top Step, you know, into it, where after like 2 years of just constantly getting hit hard with my cash account, I learned about the Top Step. That was great, because then I could really refine a lot of my strategies, and still have some skin in the game, because you're trying to get funded on these accounts, and once you're funded, which is the greatest thing in the world, but once you're funded, that's like your real money, and you're like, okay, I want to protect my my capital as much as I can. So, you know, those are some things that you guys are going to learn, those that are new to trading, those that have been doing this for a long time, even longer than me. I think a lot of the stuff that I talk about in my videos should hopefully resonate with you guys, and you know, and say, hopefully you guys are saying, you know what, this guy is, you know, he's being honest, and he's saying it the way it is. You know, for other people that come on and do these videos, and, you know, in 6 months they're driving a Lambo and all of this stuff that they've got going on, good for you, man. I think that's great. But in that short of amount of time, man, you must have either come up with an amazing strategy, or got onto a coattail of an amazing strategy that just worked from day one. I didn't have that luck. I definitely did not have that luck. And maybe I'll take back something. Maybe I did have that strategy that was awesome. But guess what? I never gave strategies a long enough time period for me to figure out if they were profitable or not. That's the biggest problem in this game. That's the biggest freaking problem with trading, is that we backtest strategies, we start to trade them, and the first sign of a little kink in the armor, and we're all running for the hills. So, you know, that's what I got. So, almost, I guess, to conclude, the way that I am, and this might change just a little bit, but what my idea here is to trade this system from the open, which is at 8:30. Granted, nothing is triggering at 8:30 because the earliest that the system will take a trade is at 8:45. So more than likely, I will either create a recording from 8:30 until the close, until the last time that the system will take a trade. And eventually I'm going to have to start editing these videos where I'm showing the system just taking trades, because just looking at this chart, I know for those of you that know his system, just looking at this chart for me is pretty cool because you kind of see what's kind of going on here. And if you're anticipating purchasing this bot, hopefully I'm going to take away a big part of your learning curve. So, and then I've had from the comments, I noticed that a lot of people would like me to go streaming. So they would like me to stream this from the morning. I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't streamed, at least I haven't streamed a trading, I haven't streamed a trading channel like this. This is my first trading channel I've ever created. And it scares me a little bit, the unknowns. I've never done it before, and I don't want to look like a complete idiot doing it. But at the same time, if that's what you guys are asking for, and and you guys think that that's going to benefit you, is kind of seeing this in streaming real time. I mean, you are looking at it real time right now because it's 9:29 in the morning, and you've seen this thing trade with me for a good hour already. So let's see the video. Well, 40 minutes at least. So you've seen this in kind of an action here. So yeah, if you would like me to stream, put it in the comments below. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, that obviously helps me at least not feel like an idiot where I'm just kind of doing this for nothing. I guess for me that's not really that big of an issue, just because the fact that, as I mentioned before, just watching these videos after I post them, it makes you, I don't know, it kind of keeps me accountable, and I kind of see what the system is doing. I'm seeing how I'm trading, because I'm trading off screen as well. I think eventually I'm going to have to figure out a way where I can show you guys this on the screen and also show you guys my my morning trades that I take. I had one win, so I had a winner on the NQ for a positive $250 in my cash account. I had a loser on my oil trade inside bar, which I made that video on Friday. The first trade sucked. You got wicked out really quickly, and I got knocked out for 31 points. And then my second trade, which, as you guys know, I take 2 trades there. The second trade went for... That one hit nicely. Let's see here. Let's see how many points that was. It was roughly like 27, I think, points in profit. I got to take a look at that. I don't want to get off of the topic of the video at hand, which is the trading bot. But so yeah, eventually I'd like to see a way where I can maybe show you guys a few of my setups kind of at the same time. But I have the software that I'm editing these videos with and creating these videos with on my main screen below. So it's a little difficult to get that one on screen as well. I will try to figure it out. If you guys say, Rob, stream this, I will stream it. And my thought process is to let this thing trade until the end of the day. It's automatically set to stop. And then let's just go over the settings really quickly. I know I mentioned to you guys the contracts, but so we are trading two micro contracts of all three of the instruments, the Russell, oil, and the NASDAQ. And as far as my risk, so as you guys know, as a default, the system is set for a daily loss of $300 and a daily target of $1,000. Okay, so you guys can understand that if the system hits $300, let's just say you're in a trade and that trade ends positive, or that trade is positive, and for the day you might be up like, let's say, $375. The system's gonna shut off. That strategy is gonna shut off because you already hit your daily target of $300 or whatever you set it to. So the first couple of days trading this, and especially when I got on Top Step, I was trading this at the max, or at the default, I should say. Daily target 1,000, daily loss minus 300. Which I did hit the daily loss, I think on the Russell last week, one of those days. It was brutal, especially after the recording. So what I've done for this challenge is I've set all of these up the same way. I've set a daily target of $300 and a daily loss of $100. So here's my methodology for that. And again, might not be the perfect might not be the perfect setup for risk purposes on a, because remember, we're at a $2,000 account, and rule of thumb is you want to keep trades between, let's just say, 3% of you want to keep the risk, under 3% of your account value. I get that, trust me, and I know that tons of videos on that. On a small account challenge, I said to myself, I'm like, you know what? Let's just bump up the risk a little bit, and this is the reason why, because it will allow the system to take a few more trades. And that one extra trade, yeah, it might get you to that $100 stop loss, but at the same time, it might take you out of a negative $40 or $50 situation into a positive. So that's the settings that I have it to. Oh, and one other setting that I think would be important for you guys to know with the system is it is also set. Sorry, I know you guys can't see this very well because it's grayed out, but when you have a strategy activated, this is what you're looking at. I would have to turn the strategy off for you guys to be able to see this perfectly, but I'm just going to say what I am talking about. So after 3 wins, the system will turn off. Okay, that's a default. I could change that if I wanted to. I guess I don't have a reason yet to change it, but maybe this is something that, it gets adjusted based on how the performance of this system continues to go. It is also set to stop after 3 trades. Another thing, so after 3 losses, this strategy will shut off. And after it can only take a max of 2 trades per direction, meaning that, let's just say you only had longs on. It will only take 2 longs. After that, it won't take a third. If you've got both of the strategies on and you hit 2 longs in a row, doesn't matter if you win them or lose them, strategy won't take a third one. Okay? And again, if you know his strategy, you'll understand the reason why that is. And I think that kind of gives you the parameters that I have in place here. Another thing for you guys to understand is, so $100 max stop loss on a $2,000 account. Quick math, head math is about 5%. Again, I know it's more than what you should probably be risking, but let's have some fun with this challenge. And hopefully let's try to make some money. And if we lose, hopefully the system avoids us from losing, a lot of money. The system is good about, So I take this back. Originally, when I threw the system in, under default settings, it had this auto stop loss that would get activated very quickly, and then it would start trailing very, very quickly. And I think I mentioned to you guys in the trades where I thought it was a little bit too aggressive, that was knocking me off, but it was also saving me for some losing trades. When I changed the settings, I noticed that as I was changing settings, a lot of them had to do with the trailing stop and how aggressive that got. And all of the settings got less aggressive. So, meaning now we have more risk, but we also are giving trades a little bit more space. Well, on, I think it was like Wednesday, Thursday, that shit just it destroyed me, because you would get in a trade, and then right away, if you had a wick, and that auto stop didn't activate, I was taking I was taking max loss on what the system put in as far as per trade. Let's say that you have a 20 tick stop, and if you were, let's just say, the second candle moved a little bit, that stop wasn't moving as aggressive as it was as a default. So he's optimized it, and he understands that this works for the system. But I'm sorry, this thing wasn't even updated. See, little things like that. Hopefully, I get better at doing, especially when you're on screen. But anyways, didn't take a trade, but at least so you guys kind of see what the system is doing. So those settings got changed, and it hurt because there was a lot of whipsawing market those days, and you kind of got hit pretty good. So I guess what I was asking for is maybe a little bit looser stops. Ended up he ended up giving it, not because I asked for it, but that's what his optimized strategy called for, and it kind of hurt that day. So, and again, those are the same settings that we are trading with right now. So I'm hoping that we get a trade set up here before I end this video. But regardless, if I get it or not, what my plan is to let this thing trade until 3 o'clock, or until the system shuts off one way or the other through all of the different types of parameters that I've explained to you in the video. And on the following day, give a representation of what exactly happened for the rest of the day. I don't think I'm going to do like a edit of all of the trades that happened, just because I just do not have enough time right now to be doing that. But that would be pretty cool. Like, I think that would be, if I could see the trades and I can see what the profit and loss was, I will kind of give you some commentary the following day as to how the rest of the day kind of panned out. And I think that would be beneficial, hopefully, here to everyone. So I'm going to give it another, I'm at 53 minutes now, so I'll give it another 10 minutes to 9:50, and hopefully see if we get a trade setup that occurs. So that is the Robert Anderson Gold Line trading bot. Now that I'm saying it, let me pull up his site, and let me just see if I like to give you guys always the most updated information that I can. Let's see if this thing is available. So yeah, it still says that it's not available to purchase. So you're kind of in the same boat as we were last week. And again, if something changes there, I will update you guys on that. The system costs $350. It's $350 per month. and you're pretty much kind of renting a license to use the trading bot. If for some reason you don't like the system, sure, you could just cancel the subscription and you're kind of done. He also has just an indicator, a plain indicator, which is what you're looking at here, that would help you know when to take the trade based on his strategy. And if you were going to be looking at charts, if you literally were going to be sitting in front of charts, let's just say for the whole day. I don't even like saying that because, man, that's tough. But let's just say you were looking at charts the whole day. You could purchase the indicator and follow the indicator as to which trades meet his criteria and take those. Or what I personally would do is I would go to his channel, which I always link his channel in the description below on all of my trading bot videos. He's the creator of this. That's his strategy. He's a badass for doing all of what that he has done, and I want to give him his props. So I would love for you guys to go and look at his video or his videos and learn the system yourself, because you could trade this manually without this indicator and without this trading bot. So, and if you learn it and you're someone that needs like confirmation, then that's a good idea to buy the indicator and the indicator alone, and then have your chart, let's just say your TradingView chart or your Ninja, whatever it is that you're using, have all the EMAs set up, have the chart set up the right way, which is, it's kind of important to have the chart. It's actually extremely important to have the chart right, because you have to remember that the basic strategy here is he is trading on a 1 minute candlestick chart. But he has EMAs, particularly the red and yellow are on the dashed ones, the bigger, thicker dashed ones, are actually pulling information from a 5 minute chart. So he's actually loaded a 1 minute and a 5 minute together. Let's just say you make the 5 minute candles invisible. This is just in theory. You make the 5 minutes invisible, but you're still using that EMA, the two EMAs from the 5 minute chart. And why he does that, it's actually really smart, and why I really like the 5 minute gold line and the 5 minute red line trades is because for all of the people that are charting on an EMA on a 5 minute chart, which I use, I used to use the 1 minute chart all the time, but I have switched over to pretty much just using a 5 minute chart. Again, not on this strategy, just because this is pre-built this way. But you have a lot of people charting on a 5 minute chart or a 5 minute candlestick. So if you're getting all of those traders looking at piercing, an EMA being hit or respected, how awesome would that be to see that on a 1 minute chart? So that's kind of the beauty of the system, where he's integrated both of those things together. And that was brilliant. Maybe somebody else has done something like that similar. I don't know. I've never seen it. So I'm giving this guy props for either coming up with that strategy and on his own, or how he developed it. I don't know. I don't really care. But it worked. So I would do this manually, which is what I did. He's got a lot of videos on how to set up the charts, how to set up the EMAs with the different time frames, all being on a 1 minute chart, and just start charting it yourself. And then again, if you're that type of trader that needs confirmation that you're doing something right, which I get, then purchase the indicator and then compare them side by side and see if what you're doing is right. And then when you finally go my route, which again, I don't like looking at charts all day long. I love looking at charts, but I don't love looking at them all day. And I do have a full-time job besides this. So I am a real estate broker in Chicago, and that is my full-time job. That is what pays all of my bills. So I don't have the opportunity to be looking at these charts all day. That's for damn sure. So that's what intrigued me about this trading bot, and that's why I purchased it, is because I am able to leave this kind of on autopilot, let it start taking some trades, and see what happens. So I am at the hour mark. I think I'm going to cut the video here. Like I said, I am going to continue to leave all three of these strategies running, and they're going to run until either 3 o'clock or until they close out, because they all have close times around 2 o'clock, I believe. And then I will report back with the results tomorrow on all, because it hasn't taken any trades this morning. It had one setup that came up on oil, but didn't materialize into anything. So hopefully you guys enjoy the content that I have that I'm putting out there. Thank you so much for getting me over 100 subscribers. I know for the big YouTubers, they might laugh at that, but it's been kind of crazy to see the amount of subscribers and the viewership on the videos constantly increase. So I am very, very grateful for the support. I love the comments that you guys give. If I make a mistake, let me know. If you like what you hear, let me know. Either way, please subscribe, like the video, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Well, I guess you could tell by that big smile on my face that we ended the day with a profit, baby. So I left the strategies running. I really didn't know how I was going to be doing this. I left them running, but I didn't leave it all recording because I didn't want like 6 hours of footage, which I'm kind of glad I did, because there was really nothing going on. And then I'm really mad that I didn't record it, because man, did we capture a huge move to really save the day over here with the small account challenge. So I will let's just go over the trades really quick. So we took and let me see if I could pop this out. Yes, perfect. So we took 3 trades on the Russell today. Okay. First trade came in, took a loss of 18 ticks, so we lost about $9 on those 2 micro contracts. So that was our first trade, and it was a loss. Now let's go to the second trade, which was also a loss of $7. The total ticks for the day at that point was 40 ticks down, and my P&L was at minus $23. And I was looking at it at work. I wasn't looking at the chart, but I was, on through NinjaTrader, I get text notifications of when it takes a trade. So I'm kind of seeing that, and I'm able to log into the web version of NinjaTrader, and I can see if I'm in a trade, it kind of will show me my live P&L. So that was kind of cool, because I was at work. I actually had a pretty busy day today. So I was at work doing that, and then I was starting to see these trades. Kind of like mid-afternoon, like 12-ish, it started to get a lot more busy. And then I believe it took, one more trade, if I'm not mistaken, on the Russell, because my account on the small account challenge was down negative $28. And it might be, it said it took 3 losses here, so I'm missing another one that was, I think it was like a loss right almost at the stop. it was up and then it came down and it just lost a little bit because I was down negative $28 on my P&L at Ninja Trader, and then I saw it take another trade. Originally, I thought that it was taking another trade on the Russell, so I was like, okay, but it wasn't on the Russell. It was on the NQ. It only took one trade on the NQ today, but look at this, guys. One trade, $150 P&L, saved the day. That came in at I want to say right around 2:13 Central Time. I'm sorry, the trade started at about 2:07 Central Time and ended. This thing ran for, well, this thing says 300 ticks. So let's do the math here real quick. So we've got 75-point drop. Holy moly. Let's see. Entry was at 14,792. Target at 14,754. I'm sorry. No, the entry was at 17,92 and 54. So no, that looks like it's 40 something points. Which I think the math sounds better there. I'm not sure what this total ticks here. I think that might be off a little bit, but either way, it took a total profit of 150. So we were down, like I said, 28, I think 28.50. All Russell trades, all lost. Okay, so I was kind of bummed, and I'm like, man, this kind of stinks. The first day of this challenge, and we got to take three small losses, which again wasn't the worst thing in the world. Percentage wise, $30 on 2,000 is, well, it's definitely less than 3% of total value. So I wasn't worried about that at all. The losses were minimized. But then when the NQ hit and took ours, because I'm sharing this, obviously with all of you right now. But it took my P&L. Let me throw it up on here. So this is straight from my Ninja account website. I just blacked out my account number, but this is my live account. This is the one I started with $2,000 exactly on the dollar this morning. And like I said, we were negative 28.50, and then, man, I think in a matter of we weren't in that trade for a very long time, and we took a profit there. Well, the total profit was 150, but it brought my day to 119 with 18 cents. This is with commissions and stuff like that taken out. So that was pretty awesome. I mean, that is like a, what is that? Give me quick math as far as the percentage. I'm going to do this on a spreadsheet, to show what our account increased here today. But I would say that, let's take a look here. That's got to be 10%. No, 5% of the account value. So that's got to be at least a 5% growth on the account today, or pretty damn close to it. For the first day, that's pretty awesome. And then the nice thing that has got me obviously super excited is that we now have like $119 buffer. So, even if we start taking some small losses, we've got that buffer now to get that big hit like the NQ over here, which just smashed it. I mean, that was awesome. I mean, I originally thought I had actually taken this in the Russell because there were so many notifications coming through. And the reason why I get so many notifications, especially over here on the Russell where I took 3 trades, or the system took 3 trades, was that every time the stops move, the take profits get activated and the stops move, it reissues an order. So it sends me that notification. So it was just dinging left and right. And I honestly thought it was in the Russell that made us that money. But again, now I'm looking at the dollar amount. That wouldn't have made any sense. But it wasn't. It was on the NQ. Wow, what an awesome way to start this challenge. You know, there's a Discord channel too that was kind of set up for this trading bot, and you know, people were, you know, like, oh, we took, you know, 3 losses today, and actually one of my comments right after the losses, I'm like, hey guys, this is trading, and you know, I don't want to judge the system on a day. I don't want to trade. I don't want to judge it on a trade. I don't want to even judge it on a week. We've got to judge a thing by at least a month. At least a month. And that's why I'm doing this account challenge for 30 days. I am showing you my account balance straight from the website, so you know that there's no bullshit. This is real money, real trades that are happening with the Robert Anderson Gold Line trades. I hope you guys are excited. Please, guys, please, please, please. Hit the subscribe button, like the video, leave me a comment, let me know if you enjoyed this. I know I'm going to try to get some streaming, try to get some of these trades on stream in the morning. I'm working on it. I got to figure out even how to edit some of these videos. So there's a lot of stuff that I'm working on to hopefully help grow this channel. And I'm having a lot of fun with it, guys. So take care.